This is an awesome trade show booth that was built by one of our customers. And in this video, we're going to highlight some different things about it and just kind of talk about it in case you are building a custom trade show booth or in case you want to pick up some other techniques and designs and incorporate them into whatever it is that you are making if it's not a trade show booth. So first of all, this is built entirely out of EMT Conduit, which is a material that you can get off the shelf at places like Lowe's, Home Depot, different hardware and home improvement stores. And then we manufacture connectors in upstate South Carolina that allow you to build all kinds of awesome projects with EMT Conduit, such as this trade show booth here. This is really cool. We can see here that we've got some pictures of everything kind of far away, but we can kind of see a lot of the main frame and what they were after here when they created it. So essentially, we can see if we start on the left side, looks like they have a display. I imagine that's some kind of a project display, and it's a pretty cool shape. You know, it's got this kind of K shape where there's verticals going down, and then there's two angled pipes coming off of it, and then this crossbar going to the other side that allows them to display the product there, and that's really cool. Looks like it has some LEDs set up, and they used a bunch of different connectors to kind of achieve this. I think it has mostly 90-degree connectors in the corner to kind of, actually that's probably, yeah, I would say that's a 90, actually no, I think that is a T connector because there's going to be a piece of conduit running from here to the front there, and it's going to terminate in the connector, and then there's going to be a piece that it looks like above that T connector at the bottom is another one right there, another T connector, and that's what's sending that pipe in the back all the way across. So it looks like a lot of T connectors for this. Even the same thing up here looks like two T connectors side by side, one there and one there, and that's how they're angling the pieces of conduit. They're just kind of grabbing onto that horizontal crossbar and being angled down. So that's pretty cool, and just a really unique display they made to showcase their product. And also it looks like here that they've got, I don't know if this frame is made out of Maker pipe. I would imagine it probably is, but essentially if they did this out of Maker pipe, what I would recommend or imagine is probably just a pretty standard rectangular cube where essentially it's 4 vertical pieces of conduit, and then there's going to be horizontal crossbars in between those, and those are going to go across like this, and then essentially you're going to have a 90-degree connector in each corner, which will join those 3 pieces of conduit in the corners to create this cube structure. And you have that bottom rung around the bottom, adds a lot of support, and then it's just mirrored on top. And then the top, it looks like they made a really cool, or not up top, but I guess in the middle and kind of the backdrop of the frame, they made this really cool structure that essentially is a rectangle here, and then you can see that it's kind of split in the middle there, and then they've got the wall going to the back, which is awesome, and then they've got this piece going down, and then it extends out the front, of course, and it looks like the same thing on the other side as well. That's a lot of lines there. I'll erase that one. But essentially, this allowed them to make this custom booth. I imagine they sit down with customers or potential customers, and they can sit down at this booth. They've got a couple of monitors there, but they made this wall to kind of be a divider. So they've got people sitting on this side, but it's the same exact thing on the other side. And then this wall here in the middle they made with a rectangle is kind of dividing or kind of covering the people that are sitting back out of the way. So that's cool. So if you got people walking by, you're not really distracting them. You can talk to them up here at this other booth or this other table, and then you can talk to people in the back here behind this divider, and then you've got enough room on both sides for people talking on both sides. So that's really cool. Can't really see a close-up of all the connectors, but I would imagine it's a lot of, looks like T connectors in the corners for these two-way connections, and I imagine probably a 90-degree corner back there because I'm sure there's a vertical piece in that middle between those two pieces going all the way down to the bottom, and you can kind of fill in the blanks with a lot of these connections because there's usually only one way that kind of makes them possible. Like, for example, this is probably a 4-way connector because you've got a vertical running down to the ground there, and then you've got the piece coming out of the front. So you've got the piece going down to the ground. We'll just draw this up here. We can kind of see. Got a piece going down to the ground, all the way up to the middle. Then you've got the 2 pieces kind of coming out of that, and then the 1 piece coming out of the front there, that blue piece. So essentially you could use a 4-way connector. So I would imagine that's what's being used there. Then I imagine you've got T connectors adding this pipe all the way down to the floor, and then you can kind of customize and use probably T connectors, I would say, to add the different tables there and, customize the framework to get what you need. But this is really cool, really awesome that he shared this display and shared a couple more photos as we can see here. Like in this example, like I said, it's the same thing on this side as well. Actually, maybe even a little bit more custom. Or no, that's just the stool slid in there. So really cool and just a great way to customize their frame, which is really awesome. We always love seeing conduit and maker pipe incorporated into projects like this. I'll link this post down below if you want to check it out in more detail and comment on there. And if you have any questions, of course, you can leave those down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully it gave you some ideas. If you did enjoy it, leave a like and consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.